my biggest challenge was probably, having good people around your inner circle, because that really affects and shows who you are as a person. Your group is also an image of you. I like to tell people I can't stop working. And I'm a workaholic. I ain't gonna lie, but it's that dedication and motivation to, getting new people, getting beats out to new people, working with new artists, getting these connects to go work with, Drake or Fabio or, whoever it may be.
Welcome to the Iron Mind Podcast. I'm Josh Brumley, lawyer, author, professor, and now podcast host. Join me as I dive into conversations with entrepreneurs, artists, business owners, and other leaders shaping the world. This is the Iron Mind Podcast. 808, thanks for coming.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. So you're a producer?
Yeah.
Tell me what that means. What do you do, man?
Yeah, so I do a little bit of everything. People know me. They figure out stuff every day, I like to say. But I'm an executive producer, A&R, and a manager. I do a little bit, like I said, a little bit of everything. So, but mainly a executive producer and producer, yeah.
What do those things require of you? Like, for people who don't know a lot about the music industry, what is an executive producer, a producer, an A&R, and a manager?
Yeah, man. So, a producer, I don't like the label stuff. They could be also called a beat maker, but I like to say producer. Mm-hmm. They make the beats. So, they help out with the loops, the melodies, the drums, everything like that. The difference between a producer and an executive producer is the executive producer, puts it all together, right? So, you're saying, hey, get this loop maker to make the melody, get this beat maker or producer to, make the drums on this, change the hi-hats like that, and then they take that project and they're like, all right, cool, now I'm going to have, this artist come on to this song, do this verse. And then, okay, boom, once that's done, you're making the marketing, have a hand in everything, right? So the term in a modern day, a corporate term would probably be like a project manager.
Gotcha.
A&R, you're putting everything together. You take somebody's instrumental and you're like, okay, cool, I'm going to get this artist on there. You didn't make the beat at all, though. You just put it to the right people. Right, yeah, exactly. Okay. And, manager, like any sort of other manager, you're managing people, managing the careers, helping them grow, things like that. So, yeah.
And you're doing all this and you're 20 years old?
Yeah.
Man,
yeah.
This is crazy. How'd you get started in this industry?
It's funny, actually. So I started producing, making beats when I was in 5th grade, just messing around.
Grade.
Yeah, just messing around.
Grade.
Yeah,
all
I found a website and I was like, what is this?
What was the website called?
Soundtrap. Shout out Spotify's beat-making DAW platform. Nobody even knew about it back then, but, hello. And then fast forward to 7th grade, I believe, my history teacher, what we had to do for a project was make a song about Washington State history. So I'm like, oh, perfect. I already know how to make beats. So I made a beat for my classmate and me, and then we rapped on it. And then ever since then, I'm like, yo, people were like, when they heard the song in the class, they're like, who made the beat? Like, where'd you get the beat? Because everybody took their beats from online, but I made mine, and I had my tag, So it was like, hey, who is this? What's going on? And so then people were like, yo, can I get a beat? Can I get a beat? And so I'm like, okay, let me start making some money off this, selling beats for $25 to classmates, I'm getting lit.
5th grade, you're like, bro, I got $25.
Yeah,
I'm
what's
getting
up?
All the little Debbie
Come
snacks.
on, so... those middle school parties, I was popping out, playing the music. Everybody was loving it.
Everyone's like, damn, he's the guy that's got the soda.
Yeah, pretty much. Exactly. 100%. So, yeah. From there, fast forward, high school, started taking the music more seriously. Started reaching out to, what do you call celebrities, bigger artists. I was like, yo, where can I send beats? How can I work with you? Mm-hmm. And so, that's how I got into that. Yeah.
And so now you've been doing this for how many years?
Decade, 11, 12. Since 5th grade. I'm 20 now, so
this is your main source of income? This is all you do?
Yeah, I do marketing as well. Shout out No Fortune. But yeah, this is my main thing. I just go around making music. I DJ, I produce, like I said, manage people. So it's just a bunch of, music's my main income. It's just, I outsource it. I get a lot of income in music. Mm-hmm. It's not like I'm getting income from one thing in music. It's multiple too.
You're diversified.
Exactly.
Yeah, I love that. Okay. If you had to swap careers for a day, what career would you choose and why?
Man, that's a tough question. Probably Probably like a label executive, honestly. Really. I mean, I would stay still in music, but I would like to see, you know, what are these labels seeing that we're not seeing, you know, like what's going on behind the scenes every day that those guys are doing that we're not doing. It would just, my thing is, I like knowledge in the things that I like, you know what I'm saying? So like, it wouldn't be necessary I want a different niche or career choice. It would definitely be in music still. So I'd probably say a label executive to see how what's it like from their perspective, you know?
Yeah.
So.
And that knowledge and how you could reincorporate what they know into what you're doing.
Well, exactly.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, that's smart, man. What inspired you to start this career in music? Like, was there an artist or a moment? Was it just the fifth grade Washington State history rap? Like what did this for you and ignited that fire?
I mean, I've always loved music since like a little kid. You know, I always just messed around with instruments and everything. If it had to be an artist though, who I look up for inspiration and things like that, R.I.P. probably Juice WRLD, honestly, just because the way he moved himself in the industry, the way he came up, his story, honestly, and how he inspired other people. I really started taking my music seriously when I started paying attention to Juice WRLD up back in 9th grade and everything like that. And so, yeah, definitely Juice WRLD. Earlier on, though, like 5th grade, everything like that, shout out Sir Mix-a-Lot.
Local legend.
Yeah, yeah, that's my guy, you know what I'm saying? Shout out him. So, yeah, definitely his music, because that's what my dad put on when I was younger. So, probably shouldn't have been doing that, but, you know.
My mom listened to Tupac, man. Sir Mix-a-Lot was like a little bit more tame. What's a major challenge that you faced in this industry, and how did you overcome it, or have you overcome it?
You know, you're in a circle, man. You know, you gotta watch the people you hang out with, especially in this industry, you know. So it's, you know, my biggest challenge was probably, you know, having good people around your inner circle, because that really affects and shows who you are as a person. Your group is also an image of you, I like to tell people. So, you know, I was just saying, probably one of the biggest challenges was just hanging around with the wrong crowd, getting around with the wrong people. They didn't have the best intentions, things like that. So, you know, still overcoming it. Obviously, you know, if you got like bad management or people that are bad, that are very involved with your music, you know, you have to recover from that. But, you know, it's just, you know, a matter of fact, getting back up on your feet and, you know, acting like nothing happened, just keep it pushing. So,
keep it pushing.
Yeah.
There's a saying, I don't remember if it's 3 or 5, but it's like, you are the average of the closest 3 people in your life. And every time I hear that quote in any way, I reevaluate my life. And I'm like, man, am I doing the best things for me? Are the people that I'm spending the most time with helping to elevate me to the next level? Or am I dragging these people up in my head, and in actuality, maybe they're dragging me down, and I need to revisit what these relationships are doing for my life. I think that's exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, as a fact. I like to tell people, like, you know, I like to say something similar to that to people, you know. I like to say, you know, hang around for people who are addicted to drugs, you're going to be the 5th person addicted to drugs. You hang around with 4 millionaires every single day, though, you're going to become the 5th millionaire.
Yeah.
So, yeah, 100%.
And so it's tough, man. Like, how do you get in a room with 4 millionaires that are willing to give you the time of day if you're not? So it's a constant reevaluation of, like, am I around people who are helping me to do great things?
Right.
And if I'm not, how am I going to expect to be able to do great things if my network isn't backing me up?
100%. Yeah.
Well, you kind of talked about it, but how do you handle setbacks, or when things don't go as planned, or a plan doesn't come all the way to fruition?
Honestly, you know, just taking a step back and just reevaluating. You know, talking to, you know, I like those 3 closest people, right? You know, I always reach them out. You know, I got my management by my side too. But, you know, just taking a step back, talking to the right people, saying, yo, what do you think about this? What should I do? Because that's why you got a team, right?
Yeah.
You know, you got a team of people to be there for you and help you, right? Every artist, if you're doing what you're supposed to, usually has a team. You probably notice it. If you don't, now you will. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, just talking with your team and figuring out as a team, as a whole, like, what should we do about this? Yeah. So that's how I handle my business, you know? So, yeah.
What's one lesson that you wish you knew when you were first starting out?
Be a go-getter. you know, don't be afraid to reach out to big artists or, you know, somebody you want to work at or work with, you know, like, I mean, I've been working with Ellis Prescott recently, you know, shout out Ellis. I know he was on this podcast a little while ago.
He was a great guest.
Yeah. You know, just work, you know, like I literally started working with Ellis off a DM on Instagram like a year or two ago. I was like, yo, bro, where can I send beats? Like, that's all I said. Where can I send beats? You know, a lot of my major placements has led up to me just reaching out and just taking that initiative and just saying, you know what, screw the egos, you know, I'm just going to face it head on and just be direct, you know, and just go get it. You know what I'm saying? So I wish I was doing that even in 7th grade, 5th grade. You know, the beats might have not been that great or something like that, but, you know, I wish.
But you were a 5th grader,
right.
So people have been like, this guy gets it.
Right.
Let's put him on.
You know, I've seen plenty of kids, you know, shout out Lil Tay, you know, or Lil Tag, I think, you know. It's my boy. He got a Megan Stallion. He got an RIAA certified gold platinum or gold record. I think at like 14. Wow. You know, because you know what I'm saying. He's a go getter. He went out, said, "Hey, where can I send beats?" You know, to local artists and to the non-local artists. You know what I'm saying? So
I think that's something that even outside the music industry, people could take as good advice. Like if someone came to my law firm tomorrow and said, "Hey, man, where can I send my writing sample?"
Yeah.
Drop me the email. They DM me right now. Where can I send my writing sample? I want to work with you. Let's work together. That's a hunger that people don't have. And it absolutely will set you apart and open doors that you just didn't expect would open for you. But you have to shoot that shot.
No, 100%. I mean, yeah, music, I mean, it's very relatable to the, you know, corporate lifestyle too, you know, and job lifestyle. You know, just if you're a go-getter, you know, your boss, your coworkers will see it. You know, if you're in an interview and you're like, I'm willing to work, fit that, because, you know, employers aren't looking for a person, they're looking for a piece in the puzzle, right? So if you're saying you want to go do that and you want to fit that piece in the puzzle to show initiative, you know, you're going to get there.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
fact.
Absolutely, man. Would you have, if you had the choice between having unlimited money or unlimited time, which would you choose and why?
Unlimited time.
Why is that?
You know, you can use money to buy time, but if you have unlimited time, it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A lot of people think just having a lot of money just fixes all your problems. Nah, it's not. You know, what makes you truly at peace and satisfied with yourself is actually just buying time. You'll realize that, you know, if you got money, a lot of rich people try to buy time because their time is money, right?
There's a book called Buy Back Your Time that a lot of corporate CEOs are talking about right now.
100%. It's literally that, because buying your time, you know, cool, you have somebody cleaning your house, that saves you an hour of, you know, like a week. Okay, boom, I can use that hour to make more money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I mean, it's like, if you have unlimited money, it's the fact of getting to that peace that matters of your time. If you have unlimited time, you don't have to buy the time. You can use the money on things you enjoy.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, still, I would pay for, you know, if I had unlimited time, I'd still pay for somebody to clean my house or something like that. But, you know, hello.
It's that unlocked a level that I didn't ever expect to be in, but having someone who cleans my house for me, man, not very expensive, absolutely worth it. Shout out to all the people who have ever helped clean the law firm and my house. Oh my God.
Yeah, that's a fact.
So helpful. So helpful. If you had to go on a reality show, which one would it be?
Oh, man. Okay. So if I could rap, which I suck, Ellis can testify to that. I'm not great. I try, but I'm not Kanye. There was a show where there's these rappers that freestyle, like beat battles, and it was Chance the Rapper, Quavo, and Cardi B, I think, or Nicki Minaj, one of the three. They were the judges, and they just had rap battles. And it was like kind of like how you got America's Got Talent, you know, where they got multiple stages and locations.
Yeah,
it was like that, but each level had different thing, and they knocked it people out. You know what I'm saying? That was dope as fuck to me. I think that was on Netflix. I don't know if it's still there, but I don't even remember what the show was called. Honestly, I'm sorry, but it was that show. If you know, you know, I guess. But
America's Got Rappers or
something like that, probably. You know. Yeah.
What's the most used app on your phone?
Instagram.
What's your Instagram handle so everyone can drop a follow?
808 wrld official, WRLD, you know, hello. But yeah, not Instagram, because like it goes back to what I was saying in the beginning, right? Or in the middle of the interview where I was saying, you know, reach out to those connects. That's quite literally all I do on my Instagram for the most part. You know, is promoting stuff and then connecting with fans, obviously, and then reaching out to people.
Yeah.
Like I can't put it down because I'm always trying to work. I'm like, you know, whenever I go on a music trip, I touch down on the plane. I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. What are we doing? Where are we going? Like, are we going to the studio or are we going to shoot a video? Like, what are we doing? Because I can't stop working. And I'm a workaholic. I ain't gonna lie, but it's that dedication and motivation to, you know, getting new people, getting beats out to new people, working with new artists, you know, getting these connects to go work with, you know, Drake or Fabio or, you know, whoever it may be. You know, just working to get to that point because I want to be the best. You know what I'm saying? So
total change of pace here, but what's one food you could eat every day?
Ooh, burgers.
Burgers is
Burgers.
it? That's it. All right. Where's the best burger in town?
Best burger in town. I mean, are we talking cheeseburger, bacon burger? What type of burger?
I don't know,
okay,
man. You tell us. You tell us.
I would say probably, you know, okay, the best burgers I know is called 59 a Diner. It's about 2 hours away. So if we're talking,
what city is it in?
It's Cle-Elum-ish area.
Cle-Elum,
yeah, it's a little far, but the best, if you're trying to get the best burgers in town for real, probably KHALED burger or man, what's it called? 571 I think is what it's called. Stack Burger, I think.
In Tacoma, in
there's one in
Reston.
There's the there's 571 Stack Burger, I think is what it's called. There's one in like Totem Lake, Bothell. They got multiple locations. They got good milkshakes there too.
Oh, okay.
That place is fire.
All right,
but,
foodie.
Oh hell, I love food, man. I ain't gonna lie. I can talk about food all day. I ain't gonna lie. But the best burger I've ever had is in Las Vegas, Blacktop Wagyu Burger.
Okay,
so that's a fact.
That's it. That's it.
Fact.
Done deal. If you could give one piece of advice to aspiring entrepreneurs or business owners, what would it be? People who haven't taken the leap yet, but they need to hear this statistic or this quote from you to just go do it. What would it be?
Man, don't be afraid to mess up. You know, it doesn't hurt to mess up. You win from messing up. You win from your losses. I mean, look at me. I'm 20. You know how many times I've messed up? I've lost money. I've lost connections. I've totally started labels and things that didn't work out. You know, like I've failed so many times to get to where I'm at. So if you think your idea won't work, like I mean, the only thing that is hurting you is you because you're not making that step, right? And so if like even if you fail, just get back up, learn. You learned, right? You said, okay, I did this wrong. Okay, now let's fix this next time I do something. Mm-hmm. So definitely that, yeah, 100%.
Knowledge is key.
Don't stop learning. Like the more knowledge you get, the more like become Google. Like I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like learn as much as you can about the industry you're in. I mean, I started as a producer, right? But now, okay, hey, if you need me to engineer and make you sound good, and the engineer is not doing the best at their job right now, like the artist is getting mad, frustrated. Okay, boom, let me hop in that chair. You know, I don't songwrite, but I can come up with lyrics sometimes and help, you know, guide the process and the rhythm and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So if the artist is like, you know, stuck, they're getting stuck, which happens quite a bit. Sometimes, you know, you can lead them, guide them, you know. I know how to play instruments. Okay, boom, you need a live instrument? Okay, cool. Let me go find a live instrument or something. You know, got a guitar, you know, you got a trombone, whatever. What's up? Piano, like we getting active. So just learning as much stuff as you can in your industry to become the best. Because if you're useful, that's when people are going to, you know, even if you're trying to start your business, become useful because, you know, then you're going to have your employees. You can teach them other things. So you don't have to do that now, you know, so things like that. It
goes back, man. Every time you're saying be useful, be the best in your industry, it comes from that knowledge. And you have to be like on the border of obsessed with what your goal is, where you're living it, you're breathing it, you're dreaming about it, you're waking up, you're like, okay, it's back to work. This is it. This is all I'm doing.
Repeat cycle, man.
Repeat cycle. Every day you're better than you were yesterday.
What can I do to better myself every day?
Yeah, that's awesome. What can people, where can people learn more about the work that you've done? Is Instagram the best place to like see past projects, or do you have a website to like discuss your previous work?
Yeah, man. I mean, if you're trying to see the process and how I work and the day-to-day lifestyle of what I do, I mean, Instagram's the best. Like I said, 808 wrld, wrld official. If you're just trying to see my music and what I do, you know, Music wise, just I'm on all platforms. You know, you got iTunes, you got Spotify, you got Apple Music, you got Deezer. What's up? You know, it's just gonna be 808 wrld. You know, so I mean, if you're trying to see the music side, definitely, you know, you can just look it up too on Google. But you know, definitely, if you're trying to see the day-to-day stuff, you know, how I work, what that actual dedication process looks like. I mean, I do vlogs. You know, I got vlogs going on my Instagram. You can see, you know, okay, hey, he went to New York and did this. This is what he got out of it. You can literally see that process for yourself, you know. I'm actually working on something that's like a 40-minute, you know, 50-minute vlog to actually show an entire multitude of trips to see what, you know, what that dedication looks like, what actually goes on behind the scenes, not just what you see on Instagram with your favorite rappers or producers.
Right. They only show you what they want to show you.
Right. They only show the winnings because you like seeing the winnings, but what about the losses? You know, what about, you know,
the work?
Right, the work, your dedication to putting in, you know, like, I mean, man, we've been me and Ellis, when we went to New York, man, I remember we were sitting in, like, we went to the studio like probably like 8 p.m. We didn't leave that studio until like 9 a.m. Yeah. Like, it was daylight when we came outside. You know, like 2 hours of sleep every day, you know, because we're just outside working, you know, getting the image, you know what I'm saying? You know, it's all about perception, but you have to see the work that goes into that perception, you know?
Yeah.
So.
Well, we want to save a little bit of time so that you and Ellis can collaborate here. But I also want to say in closing, can you tell me what it means to you? The name of the podcast, Iron Mind Podcast. What does being an iron mind, what does that mean to you?
Probably, you know, like, I mean, what is, you having an iron mind, but what does that mean, you know? So, being dedicated, you know, you get knocked out off your feet, keep it going, keep up, stand up, go ahead, go work, go back to work, you know. You got a headache from drinking last night, that sucks, go to work.
Yeah.
You know, somebody, you're an entrepreneur, somebody's hating on you, one of your friends ain't, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're not rocking with your music or whatever it may be, business, you know, it's not doing the most money you want to get, it's not getting you the money that you wanted, right? Just keep working, bro. Just keep it going. And that's that iron mind mindset. You know, no matter what happens, you just keep pushing.
Love it. Couldn't put it better myself, man. Give me a car crash, call Josh in the camera real quick.
Dude, if you got in a car crash, and this is coming from me, man, I got put in the hospital for a month. If you know, you know what I'm saying? Call Josh, bro. What are you doing? Go ahead and call Josh if you've got in a car crash. You know what I'm saying? Go tap in with him. Like, he's the best in the business. Coming from me.
Love it, man. Thank you so much.